Well, it's me. It's Robbie, and I'm working in the garden today to get a few things done so I can share with you. But I want to share something with you that some of you may not understand what could be killing your plants. A lot of people don't talk about this. They think it's squirrels. They think it's snails. They think it's rodents. Plants aren't growing. The soil's no good. What is going on? A lot of you have even purchased soil and it's no good, and your plant stays small and wimpy and you think it's the weather. A lot of times it is not the weather. A lot of times it is nature. Nature herself. What am I looking at? Trees. Let me show you what has been happening in this tote that I'm going to move. I'm slowly removing the soil. Let me step over so I can show this, because this is important. It's important to talk about over and over. Do you see the drain hole here? Now I try to keep all the drain holes up. I try to remember, but sometimes the drain holes get covered. Let me show you back here with soil. See how the soil is started to fill up there? Okay, well, what happens is the tree roots get in. These roots, these fine roots, belong to the garlic chives. That's perfectly fine, but look at this. Let me get my hand out of there. See that? That's tree roots. It smells, when I break it off and smell it, I believe it's pepper. And the pepper tree we've got is massive, and they're looking for water. But the point is, when they go in here, they really destroy a lot of plants at the same time. They don't only steal the water, but they do reap the benefits of everything you put in there. I mean, look, everything's gone. All the stuff I put in there is gone. This is all broke down to beautiful soil. But they have robbed it as well, the trees. And then what they do is they kill a lot of plants. Maybe garlic chives are one of them that are resistant to pepper tree roots, and they, it doesn't bother them. But maybe your squash isn't, maybe your tomatoes, your peppers, whatever you decide, cucumbers to grow in there, they can't compete with whatever toxins or whatever the tree is giving off, something, so it won't let other plants grow, and it can just sit in there, swell up, and then it develops this big, massive root system down there. Now that is not good for our plants. So I am going to remove the soil out of here. I'm going to move this tote and use it somewhere else. Let me step out, because that soil is beautiful. So I'm going to use, oh, there's even earthworms. Look at this. What a beautiful earthworm. Didn't notice he was in there, and he's not doing well in there either. He's on the dry side, because, let me put him underneath. I don't want him to dry out, because they pull all the moisture out. This is why I like putting a lot of my totes, raised beds, off the ground, because I can get away from this. I love that tree. I don't want to take it out. The ideal thing to do, like farms, level everything and have plain ground, just a plain playing field of nothing growing. That's how farms do it, so they don't have to deal with roots. But I just lift it up on chairs, and that gets rid of my root problem. But also, the benefit of lifting up on chairs or bricks or whatever way you want to lift them up is you don't have to bend, and you have full control. You can put your little hoods on there that I make. You can cover them any way you want. You have full control when it's off the ground. But when it's on the ground, you're going to have more insects, more pests getting in there. Even rats and squirrels can get into it. They're part of nature. They're there. You're rodents. But they don't like going up chairs. I'm not saying they won't. You're going to find the occasional one that's going to find a way to get up there. But the point is, you can deter them. And the whole idea is to deter them. Make it where, I don't want to climb up there, so maybe I'll just go somewhere else and go forage over there by the water. That's the whole idea of it. But I wanted to share with you that if you've got an issue, I've had a few of you come in and say, I've done everything right on my raised beds. And they weren't necessarily growing in totes. They built a raised bed. They made 4 sides. They filled it up. They might have put cardboard on the bottom to, break down the grasses and everything that was growing on the ground first. But what they forgot about is they're in a residential backyard, which generally has trees and plants. And if you've got big trees, big, massive trees, they are looking for a massive amount of water. What did somebody tell me once? An avocado tree A big old avocado tree can suck as much as 50 gallons a day, I think they said. I could be wrong on that number, but think about it. And that's spreading their roots everywhere. When you see a tree, a lot of times, what's on the top is going to be what's on the bottom, and it could be bigger. So kind of think about that. You have big trees, and you got issues with some of your plants, not all. Geraniums don't mind the trees. They're growing right in the ground. Think about what's around in your yard. Look around and see what plants you're growing. And once you understand that, it's not a loss. There's a answer. I feel there's an answer for everything. Step back if you're having an issue and decide, well, what way is it going to be good for me to grow a garden? That's all. Step back. Do I have to get it off the ground? Can I leave it on the ground? Am I going to have tree root issues? Do I put my holes further up so the tree roots can't get in there? And if you do that when it's on the ground, that will work perfect, but you have to keep up with it. And I always don't. So if the soil gets around the bottom, they're going to find their way in. So analyze what is going on in your yard. And as garden season comes, or you get ready to plant, think about your issues. We all have issues. Think about the issues and make it harder for the issue to happen. And then everybody's going to be happy, including your garden. Well, I'm going to go back, continue to remove all this soil, move that tote somewhere else. It's an old tote. I picked that up in the trash years ago, but that's fine. I should have some more growing season left in it. But I'm going to have to make sure that all the holes that are up do not build any soil around it. Because though a root from the trees cannot really crawl on top of the ground, they can. Once they're up there and dirt kicks away, they'll develop a callus, the root. But in the beginning, the fresh feeder roots, they have to be under the ground. And if you give them a mound, you've created a racetrack for those roots to get into your totes. So let's keep it clear. Try to remember. Keep the holes clear if you've got it on the ground and you're dealing with roots. And then you won't have a problem because they can't get in unless you give them a place to get in. With that, have a wonderful day. I'm getting back to work. And don't forget to eat what you grow. Bye-bye. At least I can move the garlic chives. They're doing good. And start over and get rid of that root. So the garlic chives are out. I'll dust off the roots. Look at this. Cardboard on the bottom didn't really break down. I guess the microbes were not crazy about the cardboard put on the very bottom. And where in the world is my shovel? Where in the world? You know, I lose more tools in my garden. Where's my shovel? Oh. Buried underneath. Yeah, okay. I'll get those transplanted.